I was playing all that time. Welcome back, friends. This is Miss Mithil tuning in. I hope you're all doing well today. It is the end of the week. And what do Fridays mean? That's right. Friday, the end of the week means the beginning of the weekend. And today we're going to have a very interesting episode. We're going to wrap things up with our discussion on animals. With wild animals. We're going to be talking about bunnies and bears. And we'll do a little recap of Old MacDonald a little bit too. So let's do some Old MacDonald. We should start thinking of your favorite barnyard animals. And then we are going to sing some songs. Let me write that down on our agenda. And I think you're really going to like today's book, especially if you're a big fan of wild animals. We are going to sing 2 sets of songs today because music is very, very important. Have you ever been listening to music and just really want to start moving and dancing? Me too. Do you have a favorite song that you like to listen to over and over and over and over again? Me too. What's some of your favorite songs? Let me hear them. Those are good choices. Actually, we're going to put that over there. Lambchop's going to be joining us today. She'll be out in just a minute. As for right now, let's go ahead and review our, one of my letters got erased up here at the top. Let's fix that. Today, we are going to start things off with singing songs. That's first. Then we will read our book about a bear and other wild animals in the forest. And we will sing Little Bunny Fufu. After that will be our folk tale. So let's count the activities we have for today. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 things on our agenda today. Okay, here's that little magnet we're going to use. We're going to put it right here. 4 songs. Okay, that's okay. We got a spare. All right, perfect, right? Okay, so I might be shouting a little bit today because we had to switch over to different microphones, so you might hear that I sound a little bit more further away than usual. Maybe I shouldn't shout so much. Don't know. Well, one of my favorite creatures that I can't say is a real animal, but is inspired by real animals, is called a griffin. Do you know what a mythical animal is? It's an animal that is made up and not real. And they all tend to have different parts of different animals. For example, my favorite is the griffin. It has the upper body and wings of an eagle. And its lower body is the body of a mighty strong lion. Roar! And when you put them together, you can have a creature that looks like this. And this is one of my favorite books that I'm reading right now by a very good friend of mine. And it's a story all about griffins. And in this story, they're real. And they live right where I'm from right now. Just in the story, in make-believe. But I enjoy reading it because they're on a sports team. They play something called griffball. Think of it like soccer, except you're flying around in the air and catching the ball, then putting it on the other side, or putting it in the goal. It's a lot of fun to read. And I'll be reading some more of that later today. And at some point in the future, we'll talk more about mythical animals. Maybe it could be next week. Well, we need to think about that a little bit. I would love to share my knowledge of mythical creatures with you. They are a lot of fun, and they make up the most wonderful stories and wonderful morals. As a matter of fact, whenever we read a folk tale, whenever that you hear about an animal in one of those stories, like we've read about the snake that could turn into a man or a squirrel, and let's see, we've had oxes, and we've read about, what else was there? I know there's one that I'm missing. Well, we've been reading about different kinds of animals in the story too, mostly about people. Oh, that's right, the crocodile too, the world's biggest crocodile. See, these creatures that can't be nearly as big or as small or as magical as these in the stories make up a great fable. A fable is a story with a great moral and a great plot that isn't real. And a lot of what we read might be considered fables too, for that matter. But we still enjoy them, right? That's that. I think I've decided. Next week, we'll be talking about mythical animals. Good transition, if you ask me. Well, let's see here. Let me start off with the songs. So let's start off with some Old MacDonald, okay? That's pretty familiar. All right, did you think of your favorite barnyard animals? All right. Can you do it patting your knees? Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O-E-O, and on this farm he had a cat, E-I-E-I-O, with a meow meow here and a meow meow there, here a meow, there a meow, everywhere meow meow. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O-E-O, and on this farm he had a horse, E-I-E-I-O-E-O, with a neigh-neigh here and a neigh-neigh there, here a neigh, there a neigh, everywhere a neigh-neigh. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O-E-O, and on this farm he had a pig, E-I-E-I-O-E-O. Here and there, here, there, everywhere. Whoops. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O-E-O, and on this farm he had a chicken, E-I-E-I-O-E-O, with a buck buck here and a buck buck there, here buck, there buck, everywhere buck buck. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Yay! I hope you enjoyed that. I like doing lots of movements when I sing silly songs like that. Alright, let's see. We have done our songs. So we will move down here to the book, and that will be next. Let's give that songs check mark box a big old check. Ready? Check. All right. Okay, so here's today's story. Do you remember what animal our last story was about by any chance? The jackrabbit, that's right. Where did the jackrabbit live? Yes, he lived in the desert. And what was he going around kissing? Coyotes. Hello, Maelstrom. Good morning. Hello, little friend. All right. Here we go with our story time. Bear feels scared. Do you ever think that big creatures can feel scared sometimes too? Yes, they can. As mighty and as wondrous as they are, they can sometimes be scared too. Believe it or not. This book is by Karma Wilson and illustrated. The pictures made by Jane Chapman. In the deep, dark woods by the strawberry bale, a big bear lumbers down a small, crooked trail. Bear's tummy growls, and he looks for a snack. But it's cold, 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 so the bear turns back. He is not home yet when the sun starts to set, and the bear feels scared. It's starting to get dark. Bear shakes and he shivers as a storm starts to howl. Bear mutters, "What is that? Are there spooks on the prowl?" Ooh. The path gets dimmer and the sky grows gray. Bear looks to and fro, but he can't find his way. Whew. He huddles by a tree and he wails, "Poor me!" And the bear feels scared. Meanwhile, back in the warm, cozy lair, friends start to worry for their poor lost bear. "It is late," Mouse squeaks, "and our bear doesn't roam." "There's a storm," cried Hare. "Shouldn't Bear be home?" Wren tweets from his perch, "We must all go search. What if Bear feels scared?" See the little wren up there? Wren is a tiny small bird, and it's also a beautiful name. Do you know anybody named Wren? The friends bundled up and begin to prepare. They form a search party for their lost friend bear. He's got a lot of friends there ready for you, doesn't he? He has himself crow, owl, wren, badger, gopher, mole, and hare, and mouse. How many friends is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, they're a regular team, aren't they? But Bear is all alone, and he sheds big tears. There's a noise in the forest, and he fears, big fears. Bear trembles in the wind, and how he longs for a friend. And the bear feels scared. What's that coming down? Do you see that? The rain, and the sleet's on his way. Sleet is a lot like rain, but it's very cold and sharp when it comes down. Badger lights a lamp, and he shouts, "Let's go!" And the birds search high while the rest search low. With a flounce and a flutter, they set off together. They trudge down the trail through the wild, wet weather. So they had formed a search party. They took that little lamp, and they're going out to find their friend the bear. They call, "Ho, Bear! Are you there? Are you there?" And the bear feels scared. Do you think he heard them? But he perks up his ears, Is it Molt calling out? And is that Hare's voice? Does Bear hear him shout? Wren, Owl, and Raven all squawk from the sky. Ah, ah, it's Bear! He is there! And they sigh big sighs. Whew. That means they feel better. They're clearing their minds and their hearts from worry. By a tree waits Bear, 10 feet from his lair. And the bear looks scared. Didn't make it too terribly short, did he? He was almost to his home. With a flap and a flurry, all the friends gather near. They give him bear hugs, they calm his bear fears. Oh, look at all those sweet hugs they're giving him, letting him know it's okay, we're here now, we're here. Whew. Later in the night, all clustered in a heap, the bear spins stories while his friends fall asleep. One thing Bear likes to do is tell stories with his friends. Cuddled up tight, they snore through the night, and the bear feels safe. Honey Pop. The end. This story shows that even the biggest creatures get scared sometimes. Usually about something that's a lot bigger than them, whether it's something they can see or not. Because what was it that scared Bear? Yep, the wind. We can't see the wind, can we? No. Believe it or not, sometimes grown-ups get scared. A lot. But it's always nice when we feel that we have friends and our loved ones that are there for us. We need each other that way. We need our teammates. Just like Bear had all 7 of his friends. And they were all there for them. They looked high and they looked low for him. Right? And when they found him, he didn't feel scared anymore. He felt safe. So if we all come together and help somebody that we know doesn't feel all that well or all that safe, just to let them know, hey, I'm here. Believe it or not, that is one big superpower that you can give someone, is peace of mind and love and friendship like that. No matter who you are. No matter how big or small you are. All right. So is it time for another check mark? I'd say so. One day I hope I can get bigger letters for this. Make it easier to see. Alright, we're going to move that magnet piece down from books, and we're going to give that book check mark to that checkbox. I'm already getting excited for little buddy Fufu. Next up, the marker is beside the little bunny Fufu song. I hope you're ready. Get out your singing voices. We're going to be back in just a minute. I'll be back with Lambchop, and we're going to be listening to a very special version of this song. I hope you're ready. Well, before you get ready, go get you some water. Maybe do a couple of stretches. Nice and tall. Make your muscles feel good after waking up so early. Or playing outside in the yard. Stretch your neck a little bit maybe. And go get you your favorite plush stuffed animals if you haven't already. We'll see you in just a minute.
Oh, is it time to start the show yet?
Yeah, we've already started.
I didn't even get time to put my makeup on.
Lambchop, dear, you don't need any makeup. You're perfect the way you are. Plus, you're a sheep.
I'm a lamb. Thank you very much.
Welcome back, friends. And Lambchop and I are super excited to be sharing Little Bunny Fufu with you.
Do I get to be the big, nice, good fairy again?
You can if you want to.
I want to.
But you know what?
What?
I don't have a fairy hat or wand for you this time.
That's okay. I can pretend.
I do have a little something you can use.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I have a golden crown. Would that work?
Do you think that the good fairy can wear a golden crown? Yeah, me too.
All right, hang tight. This is a very special crown, actually.
Oh, what's so special about it?
So, we made this, and it is our birthday crown when we give out birthday messages to our friends.
Is this my birthday?
If you want to pretend it is, or if it just happens to be so, by all means. All right, how do you feel now?
I feel all golden.
All right, you feel more spectacular?
Yeah.
All right, let's get started.
I'm gonna start the song now. I'm gonna go stand on my place.
All right, so now the song Little Bunny Fufu is a short little story and it involves some hand movements. Okay, so we're gonna use our hands, and you can use two of them since I'm helping Lambchop stay on my knee. I'm only gonna be able to use one, but I'll show you how it's done. Okay?
And I get to sing the fairy part.
Yes, you get to sing the good fairy part.
Eh.
All right, so Little Bunny Fufu looks like this. You got two fingers for the ears, and you have a little mouth right there twitching, a little nose twitching. Can you do that? Let me see. Hold up nice and high. All right, that's a good Little Bunny Fufu. Now, which way does a bunny go when they hop? Up. Can you make them hop? Very good. Hop back and forth. Can you show your friend?
That's good bunny.
All right, so you got your bunny. When we have the forest, excuse me, and we talk about the forest, you can lay your hand down like this. And then you can have Little Bunny Fufu hopping through that forest with the other hand. All right, that should be everything.
Did you do the bopping?
Oh, we didn't do the bopping. All right, so in this story, Little Bunny Fufu is going to be going into the forest and picking up little field mice. Not a very good choice, is it? So she grabs little field mice and she will bop them on the head. Can you bop? Put your fingers out wide. Let me see you bop, 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 bop.
Don't bop me.
I will not bop you. Just pretending. In the air. Bop, 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 bop. And you can use your other hand to pretend that it is the head of the mice. Now don't feel too sorry for them because there is a big thing that happens at the end of the story if you've never heard this song before. But if you have, I hope that you'll join with me and sing in your big loud voice.
At least sing my part as the good fairy. I would love you to sing with me.
Yes, Lambchop's gonna sing that part. Alrighty, get ready. Here we go.
Little bunny hopping through the forest, scooping up the field mice and bopping them on the head. Down came the good fairy and she said, "Little bunny Fufu, I don't want to see you. So
The next day.
Hopping through the forest, swooping up the field mice, and bumping them on the head. Down came the good fairy, and she said, "Little honey Fufu, I don't want to see you. Swooping up the field mice, and bumping them on the head. I'll give you one more chance, and if you don't behave, I'm gonna turn you into a fool." The next day, little honey Fufu, hopping through the forest, swooping up the field mice, and bumping them on the head. Down came the good fairy, and she said, "Little honey Fufu, I don't want to see you. Scooping up the field mice, and bumping them on the head. I gave you 3 chances and you didn't behave. So now I'm gonna turn you into a fool." And poof! That's exactly what she did. And the moral of the story is, hair day, boom tomorrow.
Oh, it's so nice to sing that all over again. It's been a little while, but that was a lot of fun. I really got into character. I really was that good fairy. Yes, you absolutely were. And it was a pleasure singing with you. It was a lot of fun singing with you too, Miss Mithril. When we get back to the school, we're definitely going to have to sing that with our children together. I would love that. All right, Lambchop, thanks for helping us today. All right, goodbye, friends. I hope you enjoy your folktale, and I had a lot of fun with you today. See you next time. Let's go put her down in her front row seat. And she went ahead and took it off and gave it back to me. All right. Can I wear this thing? How do I look? Do I look regal and fairy-y enough? What do you think? I'm going to return that to Auntie. And Auntie will be back to join us next week again. They have been so gracious sharing my lap with Lambchop and letting her spend some time with us. So for all of you guys that have been wondering where they've been, Auntie has been watching and supervising just like Maelstrom. Alrighty. So what have we got here? The magnet-piece is next to the Fufu song. And we're going to move that down here to the folktale, which is what we'll do next in just a moment. First, we're going to give that Fufu writing a big old check. Alright, we have done the Fufu song. Check. Yeah. Alright, next up is the folktale. Now, believe it or not, we're actually going to be reading a different folktale today. We won't be reading from the Thailand folklore book today, but from a different book. And I choose this book for today because, you know, we've been talking about animals, and I know a lot of you are very familiar with some of the fairy tales that are in this story, and that'll be a good introduction. The art will be a great introduction for the kind of stories that you may already know about. So, for example, who do you think is right here? Can you tell me? What do you see? A big bad wolf. Where have we seen that big bad wolf, huh? Yes, we have seen him with the 3 little pigs, and in this story he's with the little girl with the Red Riding Hood. So that's Little Red Riding Hood. Usually in most stories she's wearing all red. In this story, what is she wearing instead of just red? Is she wearing other colors? Yes, green and black and white. Excellent. Alright, so that's one of the stories that you see here. Let's see, where are some other stories? See, these stories were written from the Brothers Grimm. They were the first ones to introduce adaptations or different versions of these stories. And the more common stories you might know of, maybe from your favorite TV show or on your favorite channel, we have Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Puss in Boots, Rapunzel. Now the one that I'm going to read today is a little bit more obscure. And obscure means a little less known of, so it might be new to you. If not, that's very cool. That story is called The Seven Ravens. Do you remember the story in Bear Feels Scared, where you had the crow in the book? The ravens look a lot like crows. There are some differences, but they're both big black birds. Okay, so have you ever heard of a table of contents? These tables, not like the one you eat at, mind you, this table of contents tells you what page number the stories are at, because we have different stories all in one book. So right here, for example, it says Cinderella, and it's on page 7. So I would turn to page 7 to start that story. To start the story of Little Red Riding Hood, I would go to page 25. And for Sleeping Beauty, I would go to page 35. So coming down here to the Seven Ravens, I'm going to page 89. Whew, it's a lot of pages in this book, isn't it? It's a big book too. I'm really excited for you. I'll get there someday. Get there someday. I'm at Rapunzel. That means I'm very close. Alrighty. You know what? There's a lot of artwork in here. I can't wait to share it with you. Hey, here we go. There once was a man who had 7 sons, but no daughter. Soon his wife had another child, and at last it was a girl. The man was overjoyed, yet the child was so weak and frail that she had to be baptized at once. Quickly the father sent one of his sons to the well for water. The other 6 soon followed. Each one wanted to draw the water for the baptism of their new sister, but as they quarreled over the water pitcher, it fell into the well. Frightened, they didn't dare go home. Alright, remember these are human boys. But in this picture right here, we see the ravens. And you'll see why it's called 7 Ravens in just a minute. The father grew impatient, waiting for his sons, and angry and afraid the baby girl might die unbaptized, he cried out, "I wish they would all turn into ravens!" No sooner were the words spoken than he looked up and saw 7 coal-black ravens flying overhead. "Oh no, but what have I done?" he said, but the poor man could not undo the curse. The man and his wife were saddened by the loss of their 7 sons, but they soon found comfort in their daughter. The pretty girl grew stronger and more beautiful every day. For a long time, the girl did not even know her brothers existed. But one day, she overheard someone talking. That person said that she was the one to blame for the misfortune of her brothers. These words made her very unhappy. The girl went to her father and mother and asked if she had ever had any brothers, and if so, what had become of them. Her parents could no longer keep their secret. Her brother's tragedy had been an act of fate, they said, that she was not to blame. But from that time on, the girl's conscience tormented her. She felt that she had to do whatever she could to find her brothers. So one day, she slipped away from home and went out into the world in hope of finding them. All she took with her was a ring that belonged to her parents to remember them by, a jug of water, a loaf of bread, and a little stool to sit upon. Here she is. Here's a picture of that little girl and her running away from home. See how she's got the little stool and her bread and her picture? See what happens next. When she was tired and needed to rest, she sat on a stool. The girl traveled on, farther and farther, until she reached the end of the world. She journeyed to the sun, but it was much too hot to approach, and she thirstily drank her water. She ran quickly away. She went to the moon, but it was too cold and gave her an awful chill. Shivering, she ate her bread. So she kept traveling until she came to the stars, who were cheerful and kind. The morning star gave her a tiny key and said, "With this key you can enter the glass mountain, the place where you will find your brothers." The girl took the key and carefully wrapped it in cloth. She traveled on until she came to the glass mountain, where the entrance gate was indeed locked. The girl took out her cloth and unfolded it, but the tiny key was gone. What was she to do? Determined to save her brothers, the good sister reached out her slender little finger and bravely put it into the big lock. The gate opened. Just then a dwarf approached her and said, "What are you looking for?" "My brothers, the 7 ravens," she replied. "My 7 lords, the ravens, are not home," he answered. "But if you wait, they will return soon." Then the dwarf set the table with the ravens' 7 little dishes and 7 little cups. Whoa. Whoop. See, there she is. And there is the dwarf, who's been taking care of the 7 ravens. Looks like they stay there. There's their plates and their little cups. These kind of cups are also called chalices. The girl was so hungry that she ate a morsel from every plate and had a sip from every cup. Suddenly, with a whirring of wings, the ravens arrived. Running to hide, the girl dropped the ring she had brought with her last cup. The ravens went straight to their dinners. Each one said, "Who has eaten from my plate and drunk from my cup? It is a human mouth." When the 7th raven got to the bottom of his cup, the ring tumbled out. He realized it was his parents' ring and said, "If only our sister might be here, at last we would be free of this spell." The girl who was hiding behind the door heard his wish and stepped out. Immediately the ravens took on their human form. There stood her 7 brothers, and they hugged and kissed her and happily returned home. Oh. So, by reuniting with them and showing that she cared for them, they were able to turn back into human boys again. Look how happy they all were. Can you imagine how that might feel? Going so long not knowing that you had a brother or a sister, and then one day suddenly being able to meet them. Wow. I guess the moral of this story is never give up on family, even if you don't know about them yet. Alrighty. So, we got one last check mark to do. And that is our last check mark for the day. We have completed our agenda for today. We've been on schedule and we had lots of fun. I hope you all have a great weekend this weekend, friends. And if you'd like, feel free to post pictures or information about your favorite animals. What's been your favorite part of the show this week? What would you like to see more of? What do you want to learn about in the future? I am all ears. Alright, friends, take care of yourself. Remember, wash your hands, stay safe, and be happy. See you next time. This is Miss Mithril signing off. Goodbye!